Hi Jackie, this is Mike from Stagecoach Road Vintage Sewing Machine, and this is your pretty Kenmore. And this is the final test before we pack her up to ship her out to you. And in this test we're going to go over how to wind the bobbin, how to thread the machine, and how to work the various controls, just in case you are not yet familiar with this machine. And also for the sake of anyone who is looking for some instruction on this sewing machine, because we'll post this to YouTube for the sake of all the other owners. So without further ado, let's thread her up. Let's start by winding a bobbin. You find your bobbin down here in the bobbin you find your bobbin in the bobbin case down here below the slide plate. And if you reach in and pull out this little latch, it'll help you pull your bobbin case out, and at the same time it'll hold the bobbin in so it doesn't fall out while you're moving it around. Then when you let go of the little latch, it'll just drop right out in your hand like that. We're going to put the thread on this lower spool pin, and I see that the lower spool pin has a thread guide in the side, so that is the purpose of it. It's just a different configuration than I'm used to. Put your thread through one of the little holes in the side, from the inside to the out of the bobbin. Hold it with your finger while you put a few wraps on the bobbin to hold the thread in place while it winds. Now you want your thread to be going on over the top, from the front towards the back. And turn the rubber tire until the little keeper pin goes into the notch on the bobbin. Push the little button that says push, and it'll put your rubber tire in contact with the hand wheel, which is what turns your bobbin winder. Declutch your machine by turning the chrome knob in the center of the hand wheel towards you, 1/8 of a turn or so, until you feel it hit stop. So declutch it by turning the chrome knob in the center of the hand wheel towards you, 1/8 of a turn. And then the hand wheel will be able to spin and wind the bobbin without making the rest of the machine cycle. So, let's see. Give it a little gas, and away we go. No reason to go fast. There should be plenty of thread for our test. Push the little finger up out of the center of the bobbin here. Now we'll release the bobbin winder. Retighten the chrome knob in the center of the hand wheel. And then your bobbin goes in the bobbin case, the thread coming off the top in this direction. Then guide your thread into the little slanted slot in the side there and up under that flat leaf spring, which is your lower tension, till it goes all the way up to the top of that flat leaf spring. Hold the latch out again while you reinsert your bobbin. And make sure that that little finger on the bobbin is pointing up, because there's a little cutout for it to fit into there that keeps the bobbin case from spinning while you're sewing. Let's see, what color will look nice. Let's use some red. So put your spool on the spool pin, go into the thread guide at the back, the thread guide at the front, and down between the discs of the tension assembly, all the way around until you can pick up this little leaf spring here. Then when you pull on your thread, you'll see it pull the leaf spring. You know you got it right. Then go under this thread guide here and up through the take-up lever from right to left. Go into this thread guide on the side of the faceplate, into this thread guide at the bottom of the faceplate, and let's see, yes, there's one on the needle clamp as well. And we're going to go through the eye of the needle. This one threads from left to right. Oh, I'm sorry. I should have mentioned that at this point you hold your thread loosely, turn the hand wheel towards you 1 full revolution, and the needle will take the thread down where the hook will pick it up and wrap it around the bobbin and bring up your lower thread, which I did while I was yakking about something else. So, yeah, let's use this one. Put your fabric under the presser foot. Oh, there's a seam there. Lower the presser foot using the lever on the back of the machine. And let's see. We want to start with a straight stitch, so I'm going to change the stitch width. It's on 4 right now. I'm going to take it down to 0. And when you turn these knobs, you have to push in before you turn. If you try to turn it without pushing in, it just doesn't move. Push it in, turn it, select your stitch width, and let it go. So we're on 0 on the stitch width, so we're just going to sew a straight stitch. And let's see, let's set it on about 2 on the stitch length. Interesting. It's got a graphic display as well as numbers. It's been a while since I worked on this machine. Oh, and here's your sewing light right here. Light switches here. So, stitch width, stitch length, reverse. It's got an R on it. This is the pressure on your sewing foot. To release all the pressure, like if you're darning or doing machine embroidery, you just push down on this little thumb latch, and up it pops. Then press it down until you have enough pressure on your fabric that your fabric moves along with authority. Yeah, that'll be plenty. Then we're ready to sew. I think I'm going to tighten up that belt a smidge. Ooh, and I re-oiled the machine since it's been on the shelf for a while. And I missed an oil hole back here in the hand wheel. Like we want a little more pressure on the foot. And let's go with a little longer stitch length. Reverse, forward, reverse, forward, reverse, forward. The belt on this is I'm not sure if they call it lugged or toothed or whatever, but it's kind of ripple shaped to give it a little more grip. Sometimes they're a little bit noisy. See if I can quiet that down a little bit. So that's definitely better. I think that would be better. Yeah. Well, that's what the final test is all about. Just picking up any little things like that that need attention. So you can go fast, you can go slow, you are totally in control. To insert cams, you should be fortunate enough to find a cam set for this. Your stitch pattern cams go in the top under this door here, and may or may not be able to see that there's a little cam follower in there, and that's what reads the bumps on the stitch pattern cam. And to put a cam in, you have to move that finger out of the way, and you do that by turning your stitch width all the way up to 4, and that moves the cam follower back out of the way. And then when you're done, you take it back to 0, and the cam follower is now operating your zigzag for you. I think I've covered everything. Oh, feed drop. Here's your feed drop here. If you want to do machine embroidery or darning, you turn this knob all the way to the left, and that drops the teeth of the feed dogs down to where they don't come up and contact the fabric as it sews. So the machine is not moving the fabric, you're moving the fabric. So you release all your pressure at the top there, release all the pressure on your sewing foot, turn this knob to the left, and then you're the one that's in control of moving the fabric. You don't want to let it stand still in one place and sew, or it'll make a knot of thread that'll get stuck in the needle hole, and you'll have to stop and cut it out. I think that about covers everything. I'll put it back in sewing position for you. When you get it, if it doesn't sew, if If it's not moving the fabric, check and make sure that this didn't get popped down or popped up in shipping. Oil your machine after about every 8 hours of sewing. And when you do, you should take off this needle plate. I mean the needle plate. There are 2 screws. Unscrew those 2 screws, take the plate off, and brush out and vacuum out the lint and dust around your feed dogs. That'll keep your machine young for much longer. Yeah, I think that covers it. Yep, that covers it. Thank you so much, Jackie. We really appreciate your supporting what we do here. And of course, what we do is we bring back these beautiful old sewing machines to their best sewing condition and make them young again. If you've come here from somewhere else on the internet, we are Stagecoach Road Vintage Sewing Machine. We are on Stagecoach Road out here in the Coast Range of Oregon, so we are stagecoachroadsewing.com. If you come out to the website, you'll see a bunch of really nice machines there, and you can pick one up for your own sewing room. And if you've got Mom's sewing machine and you would love to have it looking and sewing again, I mean looking good again and sewing again, send us a message. That's SRVSew at gmail.com. SRV for Stagecoach Road Vintage. S for sewing. SRVSew at gmail.com. And we can talk about getting your mom's machine to us. We'll get your machine packed up and on our way to you here.